What's an experience you don't ever want to go through again? Having my house flood, especially when it's a natural disaster, because there isn't enough labor. 3 years later and we still have bits and pieces unfinished. I feel you. 1 year post-Hurricane Florence here. Business was flooded and we are still not back in there. No flood insurance at the time. So I spent the first 6 months after the storm just trying to find a way to finance repairs to the building. There are still people in the community sleeping on family members' couches, hoping everything continues to come together for you and your loved ones. 4 months ago I had to tell the doctor to turn off my husband's life support. Then I lay with my head on his chest as he took his final breath. I never want to be faced with that again, even though I was 100% certain it was right. I'm an ICU nurse. I know how much it hurts family members to make that decision, but you absolutely 100% did the right thing. I'm very sorry for your loss and I hope you're doing okay. Hi ICU nurse. I love you. You guys are so strong and brave doing what you do. From the bottom of my heart, thank you for everything you do. The ICU nurse I had with my wife wouldn't even go home from her shift. She stayed with me till the end, fed me tissues and gave the morphine, then hugged me for 5 minutes at the end. Then she fucking thanked me for letting her be a part of my wife's passing. That lady holds a special place in my heart forever. I'll never forget her. Being stuck in a mental hospital. It's not like in the movies, but it's the feeling of being so close to freedom yet so far away. Yes, I was in the general unit. Most everyone was nice, but there was like 2 or 3 out of like 10 that gave me a weird vibe. One being my roommate. I hated it. There was nothing to do except take pills and talk in group. The day I knew I was getting out, my mom came to get me. She had to wait 3 hours in the parking lot. When I asked what time I was leaving, they kept saying, "When your ride gets here." I called my mom over an hour ago and she's been sitting outside waiting. Why did she have to wait 3 hours in the parking lot? I have zero idea. She went in to tell them and they told her they would let the ward know. I called her from the ward asking her where she was and she said she had been waiting. Apparently processing the discharge crap took 3 hours. There was 3 of us that I know of leaving that day. Waking up to find my husband dead on the couch. He was only 26, as was I, and I was absolutely devastated. I found my wife, 35 at the time, dead in the bathroom. Not suicide. Just a couple years before that, her younger sister was killed in a car accident. Sorry for your loss. I found my boyfriend of 5 years and father to our 4-year-old daughter dead on the couch December 22nd, 2018. I still don't remember a thing from that morning. The doctor said my brain just blocked it out. I'm sorry for your loss. There's no pain like losing your significant other. I'm sorry for your loss. December 22nd is a strange day for me. My mom died on that day 2011. My wife's funeral was on that day 2014 and my friend's mom died that day. During the funeral, we didn't have kids. We were working on it. I now have a girlfriend, which I have a kid with. I can only imagine what you've gone through. Watching my 11 years old daughter die in the herb heart failure. It's been 4 months. I am so sorry for your loss. That really hit me hard. I'm sorry you had to go through that. May you find peace. Uterine lining biopsy. No anesthesia. It is okay to scream, we understand. I had this too. The doctor said it would be a bit of a pinching feeling. It was agony and felt like I was being stabbed internally. I had my doctor tell me it would hurt no more than a pap smear. Dude was a liar. I went in thinking, oh, no big deal. Won't hurt much, and boy was I wrong. Something I hope to never experience again. Yo, what the fuck is up with this lie? The other lie mine told me, you can say, stop if you need to. Then I screamed, OMG, stop. Did they? Stop. No. Why lie and say you would? Ugh. Living paycheck to paycheck. I'm in a comfortable position now and don't need to worry about bills or if I can eat that day. This guy fills his gas tank all the way up. I often feel like I made it because I don't buy cheap paper towels. After a ton of unexpected bills all at once, I'm living this now. Sucks having your card declined for a 99-cent thing of eggs. My mom has end-stage breast cancer and watching her health and spirit deteriorate is the most painful experience I've ever known. I'm so very sorry for you and your mom. I had surgery, chemo, and radiation this year for breast cancer and it sucked. But I'm thankful it's an option for me and I'm still here. My heart goes out to you. Truly. Thank you for the kind words. I hate that you had to experience those things. Am very glad you're still here. Wish you all the best. Diarrhea on a train. Diarrhea on a plane. Diarrhea on a boat. Diarrhea in a moat. Getting a call that my son had gotten hit by a car and was en route to trauma center. Fuck that day. I hope he's alright now. And you? Thank you. Yes. He is recovered. 30 hours of surgery and 1.5 years recovery plus PT, thank God. No brain or spine injury, broken bones, ankle, both arms. I'm so glad he's well. Don't any of you little shits say it. I know you're thinking it. The feeling of abandonment when one of my parents fucked off to go party, do drugs and be a complete douche, never call for 1-2 years. Pretty convenient to reconnect when I'm an adult and all the hard work is over. I feel you. My mom is turning 50 soon and couch surfs and calls me for money pretty much quarterly at this point. I've never given her a cent. She left when I was 10. Now 12 years later, when I have a career, it's super convenient for her to suddenly get a phone and try reconnecting. Ditto. Got about 10 years of resentment built up. I see her now and it's about as okay as it can be, but sometimes I slip in a sentence here or there that I know will hurt her. Pulling up by the building and seeing my cancer-ridden dad's body on the pavement. He jumped 7 stories. He was in his pajamas. I had to wait by his lifeless body for 5 hours while the cops and the CSI and then the ambulance came to take him. Taking our 5-day-old son to the ER because he started having labored breathing and would not nurse. I handed him to the nurse and she took off running and calling for a crash cart. I'm no doctor, but I knew what that meant. He was revived and we were given his diagnosis of hypoplastic left heart syndrome. HLHS. His left ventricle failed to form. 6 open heart surgeries and 1 transplant later, he is now 17. That feeling when the doctors took away my baby to perform open heart surgery on her. It was after hours and hours of waiting and struggling to keep her calm without food or rest. But the emotions that flooded me when they took her were the worst of my life. It fills me with dread and panic and terror just thinking about it. I wish she wasn't at school right now. I need to give her a hug. Depression. Please don't come back. The call telling me my friend had taken his own life while I was at a gaming tournament barely 20 minutes away. Losing a child. I've been there too. Nothing prepares you for the all-encompassing grief of burying your child. It's been nearly 17 years for me and I still cry when I think about my baby girl. I think something within me died along with her. I think something within me died along with her. It does. It definitely does. But what keeps me going is that something of her is living in me. The part of me that was so deeply changed by everything she did will always be with me. And so will she. I had my right testicle removed on my 2nd wedding anniversary. 2 weeks prior to that I was diagnosed with testicular cancer after I had gone into the doctor because my testicle was the size of a tennis ball and rock hard. I could go without that whole ordeal again. At least it could only ever happen twice.
Subscribe for more hot Reddit takes in your inbox.